Now we continue our chapter 7, control and coordination. Next part, human brain. Human brain. Next topic, human brain. Various activities of an animal's body are controlled and coordinated through two systems, nervous system and endocrine system. Various activities of an animal's body are controlled and coordinated through two systems. First, nervous system and second, endocrine system. Second, endocrine system. Now we discussed about the first one, nervous system. Nervous system basically consists of two parts, central and peripheral nervous system. Nervous system basically consists of two parts, that is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system with brain and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord. The central nervous system with brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system consists of sensory nerves and motor nerves. The peripheral nervous system consists of sensory nerves and motor nerves. Sensory nerves and motor nerves. Motor nerves. The motor nerves with two parts, somatic nerves. The motor nerves with the somatic nerves. Here two parts, sympathetic nerves and parasympathetic nerves. Sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. The somatic nerves with most cranial nerves convey messages to voluntary muscles. The somatic nerves are mostly cranial nerves, nerves coming from the brain, convey message to voluntary muscles. The voluntary muscles are the muscles that are attached to skeleton. Sympathetic nerves stimulating the function and parasympathetic nerves with a calming function. The stimulatory function and the calming function. Next, peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system, that is PNS. Here peripheral nervous system with 12 cranial nerves and 31 spinal nerves. The peripheral nervous system with cranial nerves, that is 12 cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Spinal nerves, that is 31. Here voluntary actions. What is voluntary actions? Actions that we can control with our will is known as voluntary actions. That is the action. Voluntary actions means actions that we can control with our will. Involuntary actions means actions can't control by our will. Next, what is voluntary action? Voluntary action. What is voluntary action? Actions or activities that we can control. We can control with our will or willpower. Then involuntary action. Involuntary action, that is actions or activities can't control by our will. That is involuntary action. Next part of brain. Next topic, part of brain. What are the part of brain? Forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. First one, forebrain. Forebrain consists of cerebrum and diencephalon. Forebrain consisting of cerebrum and diencephalon. Diencephalon. The second part, midbrain. Midbrain consists of small tubular part between forebrain and hindbrain. Midbrain consists of small tubular part between forebrain and hindbrain. Small tubular part seen between forebrain and hindbrain. Third part, hindbrain. Hindbrain. The hindbrain consists of cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. The hindbrain consists of cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. Part of brain, forebrain consisting of cerebrum and diencephalon. Midbrain consists of small tubular part between forebrain and hindbrain. Third part, hindbrain consists of cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. Next topic, functions of forebrain. Functions of forebrain. Functions of forebrain. What are the functions of forebrain? First, the cerebral cortex and second part, diencephalon. The forebrain with first cerebral cortex and second diencephalon. First, cerebral cortex. Cerebral cortex. The functions of cerebral cortex: control and initiate voluntary muscle contractions. Voluntary muscles are the muscles that connected to the bone or skeletal system. The cerebral cortex control and initiate voluntary muscular contractions. Voluntary muscular contractions. It controls and initiates voluntary muscle contractions. The cerebral cortex receive and process information from sense organs like eyes, ear, nose, etc. The cerebral cortex receives and process information from sense organs like eyes, ear, nose, etc. Information from sense organs, by sense organs. The cerebral cortex carries out mental activities like thinking, reasoning, planning, memorizing, etc. Control thinking, reasoning, planning, memorizing, etc. Here there are two parts in forebrain. First we discuss about the activities of first part, cerebral cortex. The second part of cerebral forebrain is diencephalon. The diencephalon with two parts, thalamus and hypothalamus. The diencephalon with two parts, thalamus and hypothalamus. The function of thalamus: relay center for sensory impulses. Thalamus is the relay center for sensory impulses. Example, pain and pleasure going to the cerebrum. Function of thalamus: it is the relay center for sensory impulses. Example of sensory impulses are pain and pleasure. Going to the cerebrum. Going to the cerebrum. That is the function of thalamus. Next function of the second part of diencephalon, that is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus: coordinate muscular activities. Control motivated behavior such as eating, drinking and sex. The hypothalamus controls motivated behaviors. Motivated behaviors such as eating, drinking, sex, etc. Next part of brain, that is cerebellum. Cerebellum. The functions include balancing the body and coordinate muscular activities. Functions: balancing the body, coordinate muscular activities. Muscular activities: balancing the body and coordinating muscular activities are the function of cerebellum. Next, medulla oblongata. Functions of medulla oblongata include: it is the center for breathing, coughing, swallowing. Medulla oblongata is the center for breathing, coughing and swallowing, and it controls heartbeat, movement of alimentary canal, that is food canal, and many other involuntary actions. controls heartbeat, movement of alimentary canal, and many other involuntary actions. Many other involuntary actions. Next topic, how does the nerve tissue cause action? Next topic, how the nervous tissue cause actions. How does nervous tissue cause action? Cause action. Brain, that is nervous tissue, collect information. Brain, that is nervous tissue, collect information. Information sent all around the body. Process informations, take decisions based on information. Conveys decision to muscles for action, etc. Brain, that is nervous tissue, collect information. Information sends all around the body. Process information, take decision based on such information. Conveys decision to muscles for action. It all controlled by the electric impulse and chemical reaction and hormone activities. It all controlled by the electric impulses and chemical reactions and hormone activities that take place in nervous system. Next topic, how animal muscle move. How animals' muscles move. Muscle cells have special proteins that change both their shape and their arrangement in the cell in response to nervous electrical impulses. The arrangements of such proteins give the muscle cells contract and relax. The brain is the nervous tissue, collect information. Such information sent around the body. Then the brain process the information, take decision based on such information that gathering from the outside, convey decision to muscles for action. Or it controlled by the electric impulses and chemical reactions and hormone activities that take place in nervous system. Next, how animal muscles move. Muscle cells. There are three types of muscle cells. We already discussed striated, non-striated and cardiac muscles. The muscle cells, mainly striated muscles or skeletal muscle or voluntary muscle. The muscle cell has special proteins that change both their shape and arrangement in the cell in response to nervous electrical impulse. The arrangement of such proteins give the muscle cells contract and relax. The main proteins include there are four main proteins that seen in muscle. The muscle proteins. The muscle proteins are myosin, actin, tropomyosin, and are the myosin, actin, tropomyosin are the main muscle proteins. Then the fourth, tropin. myosin, actin, tropin, tropomyosin are the four main proteins that are seen in muscles. Here the note, that is how does the nervous tissue cause action and how animal muscles move.